we are at NTI, Houston 2017. And we have another really great product here. This is Steve Schmutzer. He was the developer of the IVEA. And tell us about this. Tell us about what this is, the features it has, and everything, and why we should promote this.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the main things about the IVEA is this is a product that was actually created by nurses. A lot of times in the nursing profession, we get products foisted on us from people that weren't necessarily at the bedside doing patient care. But in this particular case, we worked with about 150 nurses. This came out of my background as an RN, but then I went right back to the clinicians because they're really fierce patient care advocates. And we worked with them for about 3 years to design every single attribute of this particular product. This is a product that actually helps nurses do their job better, and as a result of that, patients love it. And it actually begins its life at the bedside. This actually replaces the IV pole entirely. And its core attribute is it really helps the patient ambulation experience. And so rather than requiring 2 and 3 nurses to ambulate the patient and all of their equipment, this actually begins life at the bedside. So it replaces the IV pole and all of the equipment is on it. And so the nurse is able to just transition from the bedside immediately to the ambulation, and patients can walk with a normal gait and posture.
You don't have all those extra poles, extra equipment, because it all goes right on.
You do not, that's
Right.
correct. This particular product allows, in many cases, 3 nurses to go down to 1 or 2 nurses to go down to 1. And in many cases, such as this photograph here shows, patients that are fairly complex can otherwise be stable. If it weren't for all their equipment, which required all the staff to help them, they're able to ambulate on their own just fine. So it holds everything. It holds all the infusion pumps, it holds oxygen, Foley, it holds your Pleurovacs or chest tube systems, various monitors and devices. So it's ergonomically perfect for all of that.
So this goes up and down? How does
It
that work?
does, absolutely. So this is bicycle technology.
Okay.
It's the same technology that's on your bicycle seat. It's the same technology for the handles. So you can adjust the height of your handles with the same technology. This goes all the way up. But the idea is that when your patient is walking, you want to bring this below their chin so the patient can see out over the top.
Exactly.
They're able to walk with a normal gait. Their feet do not hit any part of the apparatus, and everything is all geared towards accommodating their equipment.
This
So
would be
here-
the oxygen tank.
This is your oxygen tank. Here's where your Pleurovac goes. Foley catheter bag is right here. And of course, everything that's blue is where the nurse manipulates it.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it's just a one-touch feature. You can open it up, drop it away like that, and it's very, very user-friendly.
What is the little blue button down here in the center?
The little blue button down there. Well, one of the big issues that nurses wanted to deal with was storability.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of equipment that we have in hospitals today clutters hallways, it clutters traffic corridors, and so when this is not in use and the patient's been discharged, this will not add to your clutter problem because it collapses right down.
Oh, that is very compact.
And so in this particular configuration, it will actually roll and store under a bed, out of the way, out of sight, and out of mind. And it actually opens itself up too, and I'll show that to you.
Okay. Very cool.
So we really were concerned about nurses' backs, and it's been designed to have very state-of-the-art ergonomics. And you saw a couple of those features right
Exactly.
there.
Now, I'm assuming the blue is to put the brakes on,
Correct, yeah.
and the yellow is to release the brakes.
All 4 wheels have locks.
Okay.
This particular unit here at this trade show has a new wheel system on the back called the SureTrek wheel system. It has 2 different levers, and yellow in healthcare stands for fall risk. And so if your patient's a little bit unstable or a little bit wonky on their feet, you just depress the yellow tab on each back wheel. And now when you move this forward, those 2 back wheels have locked into an inline position.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't go side to side. And when your patient is a little more stable, for example, if they're quite unstable after recovery
Right.
or right after surgery, you can engage that system. And when they've recovered a little bit, you can disengage it, and now it's totally maneuverable once more. So it gives the nurse options that they never had before.
Now, did you or do you still have a model that has a seat on it?
No, actually, this particular unit has a series of accessories that come with it.
Okay.
So it's possible for a nursing unit, depending upon their patient population and the needs of that population, they can actually modify this unit accordingly. For example, they can have that wheel system right there. On the front here, these clasps adjust to hold a power strip, such as you see in the photograph right there. So that's another accessory. We are developing a bracket, so you can put this down and you could put monitors and ventilators and cuboid types of pieces of equipment in it. And you'll notice on the very back, right here, those pop out in the back. And that will eventually accept a little device that will allow it to clip to the front of a wheelchair. So if the patient needs to sit down,
Oh, okay.
it goes right along with the patient.
Wonderful. That's great.
So we've hopefully thought of everything.
Yes, I think you have. You have, really condensed what has to go with a patient.
Right.
And yes, so you would be considered a nurse innovator, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes, because you have thought outside the box to
Right.
create
Right.
a solution to some problems and challenges
Absolutely.
that you as a nurse
Right.
had recognized. And you, as you said, you talked to all these nurses,
Correct.
gotten input, passed your ideas in front of them,
Right.
and tried to get suggestions on how to improve your product, and this is what you came up with.
Right, that's exactly the case. I mean, I had those frustrations a lot of nurses do when they take care of patients. They're always thinking of better ways to do things, and nurses are famous for MacGyvering things. You know, we
Exactly.
say that. And what makes nurses so great as innovators or entrepreneurs is they really are a model of how necessity is the mother of invention. And so what I simply did was I grappled with a really big problem. I knew it needed a really big out-of-the-box solution, and I just went back over and over and over again to the caregivers in the professional nursing community so that they could actually design this. And about 150 nurses actually worked
Right.
with me on this product.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for sharing this story with
appreciate
us
that.
and your wonderful invention. We'll
Yeah,
call it
and if,
invention.
and if they, am I allowed to mention the website?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, and so if they want to hear more about this product or learn more about it, just go to IVEAmobility.com. It's just like the word idea, except with a V. So it's
good.
IVEAmobility.com.
Wonderful.